We left off on bringing in our analysis that we created using LangChain and OpenAI. We created it alongside the entry when it gets created. We just need to make sure we update it alongside the entry when it gets updated as well. So let's do that. Should be an easy fix because we already have the utility function that we need to do so. We just got to go put it in the right place. So if we head over to app / why am I doing this? Let me just open the file explorer. If we just go to where we're updating, which in this case will be API/journal/ID route.ts. That's where we're doing an update. We just need to update the analysis as well. I don't know why that word trips me up. I'm like, what is the analysis? Okay. All right, let's do it. So we can say await, and then we can just say Prisma dot analysis dot update like this. And where the ID is going to be the updated entry dot, can you go away? Updated entry dot anal, oh wait, hold on. Let's look at the schema. It's the best way to do this. An entry has, it's just an analysis type. Okay, so we'll just have to look it up by entry ID then. So where entry ID equals entry dot ID. Why does it keep saying entry card for me? I don't know. Entry dot ID. And then you need to add what you want to update. So you add data. Oh yeah, updated entry in my case. Updated entry ID. And then the data is what you want to update. So in this case, we just want to update, all the analysis. So we can just do that in line right here. We can just say, it's a really cool trick. Put this in parentheses. You can say await, and then analyze, import that, call it, pass in updated entry.content, and there you go. Yeah, you can just do that with async await. It's pretty cool.
You're just spreading the hash, the object that's returned.
Yeah, I'm spreading the object that's returned, yeah. I mean, you couldn't handle errors this way, but I'm just assuming everything works every time. Yeah, because it always does.
If we have
go ahead.
entries that don't have analysis, we'll update, add a new one.
If we have entries that don't have an analysis, so we can account for that. Let's account for that because I guess we do have some of those right now because we add analysis after we made the entries. So let's account for that. So what you can do is you can change this to upsert. So upsert is like update this if you find it, but if you don't find it, create a new one. So now what you have to do, so data is, all the things you want to update, but then now you have to say update here like this. And this is where you want to, so now data is where data is where now it gets created. Update is where the update is. And data is like everything you need to create one of these, which is literally the same thing as this. So we have to reuse this. So I can't do it here because I'm not calling it twice. So I'm just going to bring that up here now. And we'll just say analysis. And the update will still just be the analysis. But the data will be the entry ID. And it'll be updated entry.id. And then also the analysis. This thing, I think, is just going to freak out with types puts. It's because this has like a or undefined, and it's like we don't like that this is or undefined. It just has to be that. So that this should work. So again, upsert is like update it if you find it. If you don't find it, create a new one with this. If you do find it, update it with this. it'll probably still break if you try to go to one of the journals on that editor page without it, because we're just assuming that it's there and our UI is not accounting for it not to be there. So you'd have to like go on the front end and, you know, do some conditionals on that. I'm just going to delete the journals that don't have it, so I don't run into that problem.
Yeah,
Or-
I'm looking at those.
Yeah.
They can't be destructured.
Yeah, or just not. Yeah, you can't destructure because it's not there, right? So you don't even get the chance to do the auto save to even get it to trigger this upsert. So you won't even see that happen. You can handle that. I mean that's just a common JavaScript problem. You wouldn't have this problem in production because if you ran a migration that needed something, you would make defaults for that migration, and you won't have this problem. So whenever you add a new field to something, especially if it's like required or something, or you're writing code as if it's required, you need to supply a default. The reason PlanetScale didn't say we needed to is because there's a question mark here. Like this is optional, so you don't need to run a migration. But unfortunately for us, we wrote code as in if this was not optional. We just assumed that everything had it. So that's why databases are powerful. Like if you just listen to the database and do what it says and write your code in such a way where you follow these assumptions and don't follow any other assumptions, your code would mostly be good. Cool. I'm just not going to click on any of those things. Or I might just go in Planet, or I might just go in Prisma and delete them. Actually, I'll just do that, so I don't have that problem. Let me do that. Let me just do npx Prisma Studio. And I'll just delete all my journal entries, honestly. I'll just delete them all. And actually, let's see. This is a great example. We might run into an error here if you try to delete
I
these.
just did, yeah.
Yeah, cool, awesome. So, yeah, so you get an error here. It's not by accident. Your thing's not broken. It's basically saying, hey, you can't delete this because there's something depending on this. There's an analysis that's attached to this. What do you want me to do with those things? So we have to tell Prisma what to do with those things when we delete them. So what we can do is we can go to analysis on this entry relation, and we can say on delete, like so. And we can say cascade. So this just means whenever this journal entry that's linked to this analysis gets deleted, cascade that delete down to this analysis so it also gets deleted. By default, it doesn't do that. So now you got to do your push again. Cool. And then I'm going to do the studio. Got a lot of studio tabs over here. Oh, there's my cat. Refresh that. And now I'm going to try to delete it and confirm the deletion. And boom, now it's deleted this time. All right, so I should have no more journals. I'm just going to stop my server and start it again because I changed the database and I don't want no problems. This is going to break. I can't even refresh this page. The ID no longer exists in the database. So I'm going to go here. And I should just see that, at least on my page, because I deleted everything. If you didn't delete everything, you won't see an empty page. Okay, so let's try to see what happens. We did the update, so let's see. I'm going to click new entry. I think for some reason, every time I click it, the first time it takes forever. Okay, there we go. We have our new entry. We can see our analysis is still working on that. Now I'm just going to change this. And today was really sad for me. My cat decided that he was not going to snuggle anymore while we watched TV and instead hung out with the dog. So I was really sad about that. So we'll let that save. I could tell that it's talking to, okay, okay, so I think it did pull it back. Oh yeah, it worked. We ran into another problem that we got to fix. This actually worked. So if I refresh this, we'll see the analysis get updated, right? Or maybe not. Let's see. Are you going to get updated? Did it actually do it? Let's log it. there's another problem, not a problem, but something I want to talk about with client-side state, why that wouldn't update. But let's just make sure it's actually updating here. So let's see. We got that. We can say updated. Let's just log it. Cool, we'll log that. I will just, I'm not okay. So I could tell it's talking to OpenAI though. It's taking a long time, so I know something's happening there. Oh, here we go. We got a database error. So this thing says, oh, I guess that data one was wrong. It says data and data analysis. Did you mean update? Argument create. Oh, I guess that's not data anymore. It's create or upstart. Interesting. Or, yeah, I guess this is just create now. Okay. That's just create. Let's run that and see. I'll just get rid of that. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I guess that was it. So I guess data is now create when you do an upstart. Can't tell with all my TypeScript errors. But it still didn't update here, right? So now if I refresh, it does update. Here's a classic example of it being it chose the color black and now you can't see the text there, but that's fine. So I guess it thought I was so down bad that it chose the color black, which is like probably like, you know, really dark emo color. Subject, my cat. That's so funny.